Hello children, today I am going to discuss with you the first midterm, second lesson, Leaked by Paul Jennings. Learning objectives of the presentation are to understand about characteristics of each character in the story, to identify language techniques, and to discuss how the writer presents the story. Now we'll be talking about the characters in the story. So he is the main character of the story. So who is he? He is Andrew. And then in the second picture, you can see how Andrew's father is chasing away a fly. Who is she, children? She is Andrew's mother. And he is Mr. Spinks, Andrew's father's boss. According to the page number 8, Andrew, the main character of the story, he is emphasizing us why he likes his father. So there are four reasons and why he really likes his father. So according to him, as his father is taking him fishing and as he is giving arm wrestles and tries practical jokes, keeps his promises. So likewise, children, now you also can think whom you like most from your parents, your dad or your mother. So maybe you like your father or maybe you like your mother. So you can think why, what are the reasons that you really like them. Okay, now according to this slide, Andrew, he's talking about his father's two faults. So, anyhow, though he likes his father, at the same time, he wanted to emphasize to the readers uh, there are two faults that his father has. So, we'll see what are these two faults. So, according to Andrew, his first fault is chases flies with fly swat. So now you can see a picture of Andrew's father and how he is chasing away uh, flies. Andrew describes how his father used to chase his flies away. So, for an example, you can read it in the third paragraph. He races round the house, the fly sweeping and sweating like a mad thing. He will not stop until the fly is flat, squashed, squished, sometimes still squirming on the end of the fly sweat. So, this is how he is chasing away the flies. And not only that, why but also why he's normally using a fly swat. There is a reason for that. In the same paragraph, it says if now uh, he will not use a fly spray because of the ozone layer, so he chases them with a fly swat. Now actually, when we talk about Andrew's father's very good characteristic, he is concerning uh, about nature. So it is a very good thing, children. We as human beings, we cannot do everything what we really want. We have to think about what's happening, what will if we do before you are going to do a task, you have to see whether is that good or bad, then only you should react. So now as human beings, we have no right to harm to our nature. Though at present, though most of us are harming our nature, beautiful nature, by now after you eat some chocolate some other biscuits, what you are doing, you are throwing away all the wrappers to the mostly on to the road. So due to that, it will spoil our nature. So it will pollute our nature. So you, as Andrew's father also, you have to think about all these minor things, right? Children, we already got to know that Andrew's father is actually, he is, though he is actually killing flies, he he wants to protect our our environment, our nature also. uh, In the fifth paragraph, Andrew describes how his father is good at chasing flies and also tells us about his fly swat. So we'll see how his father is good at chasing flies. He's a dead eye shot. He hardly ever misses. When his old fly swat was almost worn out, I bought him a nice new yellow one for his birthday. It was not yellow for long. Now, why it was not yellow for long? As he is killing flies. It soon had bits of flies smeared all over it. So we feels a little disgusting. It's funny the different colors that squash flies have inside them now. For Andrew, it's really it is kind of a funny thing. Mostly it is black or brown, but often there are streaks of runny red stuffs and sometimes bits of blue. The wings flash like diamonds. Now it's a simile. If you hold them up to the light, but mostly the wings fall off unless they are stuck to the sweat with a bit of splash innards. So, in the sixth paragraph, he tells us about his father's second fault. So, we'll see what is his father's second fault. What is his second fault? Uh, it's about table manners. So his second one is table manners. He is mad about manners, and it is always my manners that are the matter. Now, while they are taking dinner, breakfast, lunch, uh, Andrew's father is always concerning about Andrew's behavior in the table. So always he wanted to give him some very good learning about table manners. So likewise, maybe your parents also, they are also training you about good table manners. So you can, while you are reading this story, children, you also can memorize what you have learned as table manners. So, if we talk about how Andrew's father is teaching him about good table manners, he's asking him, don't talk with your mouth full, don't put your elbows on the table, don't lick your fingers, don't drink your biscuit in the coffee. So, likewise, yeah, when he used to do all these things, he wanted to correct him by telling not to do it, and it is really bad. So in page number 9, we can see while Andrew looked for his 50 cents that rolled under the table, he listened to his parents' conversation in a very silent manner. So their conversation is about whom? About Mr. Spinks. Who is Mr. Spinks? He is father's boss. So they wanted Mr. Spinks to come for tea. While they are having their conversation, mother and father came to an agreement that they will not say anything about Andrew's manners, especially mother advises father not to pick any faults uh, while they are at tea time when Mr. Spinks arrive. So who is Mr. Spink? He is Andrew's father's boss. So this is how they came to an agreement. You should stop picking on Andrews at tea time, says mom. I don't, says dad. Yes, you do, says mom. It's always don't do this, don't do that. You'll give the boy a complex. I have never heard of a complex before, but I guess that it is something awful like pimples. Now it's another simile which we already recognize in this story. Tonight, says mom, I want you to go for the whole meal without telling Andrew off once. Easy, says dad. Now they wanted to agree, right? Uh, that they will not talk about Andrew's table manners. As Andrew's father promised his mother not to tell anything about Andrew's table manners, Andrew decides to do a practical joke on his dad when his dad's boss comes for tea. Now he wanted to uh, may, what make him angry by doing a practical joke. So we'll see what he is going to do. In the last paragraph of page number 9, it has given a brief description about how his mother arranged the tea table. So we'll see how she is going to arrange the tea table. That night, mom sets the table with the new tablecloth and the best knives and forks and the plates that I am not allowed to touch. She puts our serviettes in little rings. All of this means that it is an important meal. We do not usually use serviettes. Now, children, if we apply the same thing to our normal routine, now when you hear a visitor is coming to your house, is visiting your house, how the atmosphere will change. Your mother, she used to clean the house and uh, wanted to give your father a list of goods that he should bring. So father is actually he is also very excited to bring some goods. So you have a very busy environment, and also she is preparing the tea normally and the dinner table with as Andrew's mother, with the best knives and forks and even plates. Normally, uh, uh, we are not taking. We have our own usual plates, but uh, when the visitors are coming, our mother has special plates for them. So we you are not allowed to touch those plates, isn't that so, children? So this is, you can actually imagine how you can uh, uh, how you can actually practically use this situation to your life. In page number 10, we can see at the beginning of page number 10, in the first paragraph, it has given a brief introduction description about Mr. Spinks. So we'll read uh, what sort of description which had given in page number 10. Mr. Spinks comes in his best suit. He wears gold glasses and he frowns a lot. I can tell that he does not like children. Now, Mr. Spinks in his comes in his best suit, so it shows us about his character. Now, normally when he is going out, he used to wear his best suit, and also he used to wear his gold glasses. So now according to Andrew, he's not a very jovial person, not a very chill person. He has a very angry face. Now it shows that um, now according to Andrew, he's telling that maybe because of this he doesn't like children. So, as I told you in the previous slide, by observing Mr. Spink's facial expressions, Andrew comes to a conclusion that he does not like children. Now, everyone sit down to tea. So, at that time, Andrew put his secret weapon on the floor under the table. So, now Andrew, he has a secret weapon. So, don't know what sort of a secret weapon that he has. So we'll see what is that. So the first course is soup and bread rolls. Andrew make a loud slurping noises with the soup. He dip his bread in the soup and make it soggy. So this is how he wanted to do disgusting things while they are having the food. So while he is engaging in all the disgusting things, others they actually they pretend that they did not see what he is doing, what actually he is doing, and they are talking about how his father might get a promotion at work. Father frowns at him but didn't tell anything. He's going on doing all these disgusting things. He when he have got the chicken bottom, he actually he wanted to tell that he need a chicken bottom in a loud voice, and then he pick up the chicken and start stuffing it into his mouth with his fingers, and grab a roast potato and break it in half, and dip his finger into the margarine and put some on the potato, and runs all over the place. So actually, though he has done a lot of disgusting things, father only frowns at him but didn't tell anything. So again he as I told you, he snap a chicken bone and in half and suck out uh, the middle. Okay, and he suck and slurp and swallow. So at last, what did he do? He suck it and slurp it and swallow. So in the page number 11, we can see Mr. Spinks stop talking about father's promotion and discuss about discipline. So it's in page number 11. In the second paragraph, it says that Mr. Spinks has stopped talking about dad's promotion. He's discussing something about discipline, about setting limits, about insisting on standards. Now they are talking about how they can actually um, mm, uh, build up their workers uh, potentials and their attitudes. While they are talking about all these good things, uh, Andrew, he used to do all the disgusting. He's engaging in all his disgusting things. So, what are the disgusting things that he had done? Uh, he wanted to do. He put up hollow bone into the custard and used it like a straw, and he stuck the custard up the hollow chicken bone. So that clears his throat. He's very red in the face. Andrew, he says, he's going to crack. I have won. Now he actually now Andrew wanted to what wanted to wanted his dad to tell about now he promised that he promised his mother that he will not he will not discuss about Andrew's table manners. So now Andrew wanted to break that rule, so that's why he wanted to what make him angry about what he is doing. So we'll see whether he already wanted to he already win the game or not. So at that time, as I told you, Andrew put the hello bone into the custard and used it like a straw. Again, sucked the custard up the hello chicken bone. Though father was under enormous pressure, he still maintained his coolness. Now, though he is really angry, he he doesn't want to tell it, convert it to the words. So there is another very good thing that we all can learn about Andrew's father. Now normally when normally children, when you get angry, what you all are doing, you wanted to what p- convert it to the words and wanted to blame the other person. But Andrew's father, he really wanted to control his anger. So at last, what did he do as a disgusting thing? He placed the yellow fly swat on the table next to his knife. Everyone looks at it lying there on the white tablecloth. They stare, they stare and stare, but nothing is said. He pick up the fly swat and start to lick it. Now he pick it up and then start to lick it, and he lick it like an ice cream. Another simile. A bit of chewy brown goo gums off on my tongue. I swallow it quickly, then I crunch a bit of crispy black stuff. Now, so at last, as the final disgusting thing, he wanted to lick the fly swat. So, after seeing this disgusting incident, Mr. Spink rushes onto the kitchen and he can hear him being sick in the kitchen sink. So, what do you mean by sick in the kitchen sink? Maybe he is vomiting. So, at that time, his father could not control him and he became angry and screamed. So, as his father screamed, he runs to his room and locked the door. Finally, he made a promise to himself that when his father calms down, he will reveal that he licked the new fly swat on and not the old fly swat with dead flies. Now, actually, did he lick old fly swat? No, he bought a new one, and now when his father calmed down, he promised to himself that he will tell him how he went down the street and bought a new fly swat for 50 cents. He himself went alone and brought a new fly swat for 50 cents, and he will tell him about the currants and little bits of licorice that he smeared on the fly swat. So the story ends by telling, I mean, I would not really eat dead flies, not unless it was for something important anyway. So now he actually wanted to crack a practical joke to his father. So that's how he did all these disgusting things. But children, I must say that this is not a very good way that you have to behave while uh, you are mostly you will be sit down to tea or dinner or anything when you are eating. Here I have listed down all the language techniques that we all can find it from this text. And I already prepared you some questions. So if you can answer to all these questions, it will help you to understand the text. Thank you very much, children, for listening to my presentation. I hope you all get a very good idea, a clear idea about the lesson lit.